Hi fellow crafters, welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Terri from nutsaboutsstamping.com. Today I have an easy technique to share, one that uses the Shimmery White Embossing Paste. You don't want to miss this one, so let's get started. If you haven't seen the Shimmery White Embossing Paste before, this is what it looks like. You can apply it freehand, which is what we're going to be doing today, or you can spread it over decorative masks, then let it dry, or heat set it for easy texture. And here's a really fun tip. You can put some of this embossing paste on the silicone mat, and you can add some classic Stampin' Ink refills so that you can dye this from white to any color that you want to use. Now to apply it, we have palette knives. There's a set of 3, they're 3 different shapes, and I'm going to be using the largest palette knife for today's project. For the images on my card, I'm going to use the Translucent Florals bundle. You can stamp the flowers and leaves together for an elegant centerpiece, or you can create simple yet beautiful backgrounds by repeatedly stamping one design, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to start off with a piece of basic white, and I'm going to be using this single stamp for the whole project. And I'm going to use one of the new in colors, Summer Splash. So the first thing I want to do is create a single image on this layer of basic white. And then what I'm going to do is take the corresponding die, and I'm going to die cut it out. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Now for the technique, I'm going to use the same ink pad and the same stamp, and I've got a scrap piece of grid paper because what I want to do is stamp off and then stamp on, because I want my flower image to be a little bit lighter than the full inked up image would look like. So I'm just going to randomly stamp all across this layer of basic white. And now it's time to use the Shimmery White Embossing Paste. Here's a tip for you. This embossing paste dries very quickly when air gets to it. So I would suggest that when you purchase this to use, keep the inner layers on here and make sure that you seal it up tightly right away. I would even just open a small section inside the jar and then close it up tightly before working with it on your project. So I'm going to take this embossing paste, and what I'm going to do is just apply it to this whole layer. You want to do this fairly quickly because, as I said, it dries completely and in a very short amount of time. So I'm just going vertically and horizontally, trying to get a nice even spread so that this entire layer is covered. Now, if you have any leftover embossing paste, you can just scoop it up off the silicone sheet and put it back into the jar, remembering to seal the jar completely. And then what I'm going to do is wash this off because, as I said, it dries very quickly and it gets very hard, almost like a cement kind of feel. So I'm just going to hop over to the sink and run these both under water, and I'll be right back. And in the meantime, this will be drying. And while that's drying, I'm going to create a phrase for the front of the card. From the Translucent Floral Stamp Set, I chose the phrase that says, "You're the best," and I'm going to use my Tuxedo ink. I think it's Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Okay, it's not quite dry, but it's certainly getting there. You can also use a heat tool to dry it. I think I mentioned that already. I'm not going to do that, and I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but it's really pretty. It's very subtle, but it's certainly there. So what I want to do is I want to layer my shimmery white floral layer to a layer of basic black, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Dimensionals to do so. Now my card base is going to be basic white, and I'm going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue and adhere this layer to my card base. Now the next step was going to be to attach my phrase, but when I laid it down on my card base, it just kind of seemed to disappear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it on a scrap piece of basic black, and then I'll adhere it to my card front. And I think that will make the phrase pop just a little bit more. All right, there it is with the phrase attached. Would you like to see another translucent florals card idea? If you would, then why not watch this video next? And now I'm going to attach my flower. And I'm going to put it just like so, just to get a little bit of dimension and to pull everything together. And now it's time to talk embellishments. And what I want to do is use these silver gems to create just a subtle additional touch of shine on the front of my card. And there we go. Now I have a question for you. What would you do on the inside of the card that would help match to the outside of the card? I would love for you to leave me a comment in the description box under this video and let me know what you would do for the inside. If you would like a complete listing of everything I used and the ordering numbers, in case you want to add the Shimmery White Embossing Paste to your crafting collection so that you can try this technique at home, I will link over to my blog article in the description box under this video. You can head over there and get all the information you need. I'm Terry. I am nuts about stamping. I'll see you at the next video. Bye for now.